All right. So everybody, welcome to another weekly recap. This is Trader Travis and my partner. I'm bringing in the mic because I have my partner in profit, Peter, here. So I got to get used to my new setup here. I'm rearranging, but anyway, we are, as one commented from YouTube. I want to congratulate. I wish I could remember the username, but this comment on YouTube recently said, "Hey, you guys help us regular folks, feel like we can do this." And I was like, "Yes, that's exactly at least one of my missions. I have several missions, but yeah, because we're average people. I've never been a floor trader. I think I've been to Wall Street once. I've never toured like or anything like that." But we're regular people, showing you that yes, it's possible, at least in our experience, not our opinion, but our experience, that yeah, we can beat the market every year, right? Despite the experts telling us, oh, 90% of traders fail, it just hasn't been our experience. And so each week we come to show regular, average, everyday working, people, yes, you can do this, and it doesn't have to be that complicated. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start today, and I'm just going to share my thoughts on the market, give you some realities about trading options. There are more, in my opinion, crash and burn stories than they are success stories, right? People let that go in one ear and out the other. So I want you to meditate on what I just said. You read those sales pages online and you feel like everybody can take 2 grand to 1 million in a year. And I'm telling you that although that is possible, it's highly unlikely that the majority of people can do. Yes, one or two people may have been able to do that, but I don't think for most people. In my experience, there are more crash and burn stories, right? So there's more failure stories than success stories. You're like, why would you still, promote a coaching program? Because so you get to choose which end of the group that you want to be in, right? It's your choice whether you want to be a failure or success. Just because there may be failures doesn't mean you're going to fail. You can say, hey, I want to succeed and I'm going to commit to doing whatever it takes to succeed. And that's the path I chose. I'm like, yeah, failure rate, but I'm going to find the winners and I'm going to model their thoughts, behavior, and systems. I chose to be in a winner circle. So the fact that there's a lot of failures doesn't bother me one bit because I'm in control whether I succeed or fail. So with that philosophical over, the reason I'm sharing all that is because I want to show you this. I'm currently in the U.S. Investing Championship. Is generally some of the bigger names you hear about today, like bigger investment managers, started here with their performance. They started in the U.S. Investing Championship, and they either won and things like that. I don't want to name the names. You can Google U.S. Investing and see some of the past winners of that. And this year, and what I want to do is actually show you old standings here as of May. Now, I'm not picking on this person. I'm just using this person's performance as a reality of options. And I was telling Peter, I was like, I am not surprised to see this because this has been my experience, right? So I'm in what they call the enhanced division, people who use futures, options, and things like that. So my ego was hurt because I was number one at first. And then this guy showed up here in May with a 185% return on his money. Peter, can you see my screen? I forgot to access my screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So and that was the month I had lost some money. So my little ego was hurt, and I was like, I can't. I already knew it. I had literally giving up. So this is me being honest. I gave up emotionally. I was like, this year I had hopes of winning because I know our system just kicks butt, right? I'm like, there's no way I'm going to beat that guy. How do I know that? Because I don't have that type of performance anymore, because I don't take that kind of risk. And what I was telling Peter is, in order to get 185% return the first 5 months of the year trading options, you have to take on a crazy amount of risk. I know that truth. And I was like, I'm not willing to do that anymore. I'm not that type of trader or investor anymore. And I don't teach that. Yes, I turned 10 grand to 70 grand in a couple of months when I first started, but I don't teach that style. It's a cowboy style where you're like investing your entire account on a few trades. Not worth it. You can go bust, lose all your money doing that. I want to show a steady path to wealth where they make money, they keep the money they make, and then they grow in their account. And that's why I show the 5-year retirement plan. the last 2 years, we've taken 10 grand and slowly grown it to about 55, 58 grand. I don't have my Excel pulled up, but it's a slow and steady process. This is May, all right? So performance in May was 185%. Mine was 9%. Here is June. Now this guy's performance is 153, still pretty good, but you can see he's losing money. And really inched up to 22%. That's June. Now let's look at our performance as of September. I'm at 17%. And they have me in the wrong division here. They have me in the stock division. I'm supposed to be in enhanced growth. But now I'm up 22 points, just as a small increase. So what you see is what I teach Success Academy members, a slow march upward. You don't backwards 100 and something percent like this guy did. Again, no, I'm sure he's super smart. As a matter of fact, he has a professional money management business. I want that kind of performance, these large swings up and down. I can't sleep. I do not need anxiety and panic attacks. I just wanted to show that yeah, you can have those type of returns, but don't think there's always a trade-off. You get those 180% returns, you have to take that kind of risk. So here's a summary of my long-winded, probably 5-minute spiel. In order to get those type of return also means you can lose that much. And if you're okay with losing all of your money in a few months, then fine, go for that. But I am not. So with that, let me move on to the market. I don't have much to say about the general market. I am still a skeptic. I talked about it in our last recap. I don't trust it. The volume is pretty low. The market has gone up, is at close to the top of the channel we've been talking about, but the volume is low. So I don't really trust the move until it busts through this, 302 price level and the volume maybe picks up. Then I will feel more confident in the up move. But right now I feel like it's the quiet before this. I kind of feel like it's setting for disappointment, which is why I bought some more put options. And I talked about this in our 10-minute income trader recap. I didn't make any more bullish trades, any more trades where I can make money when the market goes up. I chickened out. I actually was like, I chickened out. And I was like, I'm more fearful than I am excited to make money. So I was like, what am I, more greedy or more fearful? I was like, I'm more fearful. So I went and bought more put options for my account. I have a crap ton of put options right now in my account. So wanted to, what I said, protect my backside so I can make money no matter which way the market goes. I feel more at peace now. I don't have any anxiety, and that's my goal. I always trade in such a way that I don't have anxiety. Last thing I'll leave you with is our coveted hot stock formula. I've shown an example like this in a very long time, and I probably should have, so people can fall more in love with the hot stock formula. For those who don't know what it is, I met a millionaire 20-something years ago. He showed me his little in the top 10 to 20% of all stocks in the market, right? How do you find the winners before everyone else does? I've been following this formula literally for 20 years. I told Peter I plugged him into like a Morningstar portfolio a long time ago and forgot about him. And then one day I logged in, it was like, this account like quadrupled. I had forgot about those stocks. That's when I was like, this formula really works. So what I did is I pulled up and I'll share why I'm sharing this here. Well, I'll share it now. Peter's actually going to be offering his list to people for just a small nominal charge to recoup his investment, doing the work for you and just give you the stocks for a small price. So this is March 2010 when I started coaching online. I used to coach one-on-one privately for people. Then I decided, I want to reach people, and I created the Success Academy, the online version. So this was my first class back in March 2010. So I walked them through our hot stock formula. When we find these stocks, what do we look for? And Netflix is on here at $69. And right here, this is just an example. Matter of fact, before I show you that, I want to show you all the charts of these stocks. So we have Netflix right now is at 269 off of a high of 385. And actually, let me pull up, let's see, a 20-year chart, because that you will see what these stocks have done since I showed my members in 2010. This is a 20-year chart, though. So this is Netflix, now at 269 off of a high of 423, right? BK, which Priceline, they changed to Booking Holdings. This is at $225 a share. We found it back in the day. I'll show you what price we found that at. Lululemon is now at $204 a share. You'll see what price we found it at. And DPZ is our winner. It's at $56 a share right now, and you'll be surprised at what price we discovered it at. So to this class in March, I showed them Netflix 69 and satisfy the hard stock formula, right? Every $1,000 invested in that stock at that price level, earn about 46K now. That's how much it would be worth. You're just held it for 9 years. Price line 102,000. You'd have made 102,000 off a 12 grand investment. Just buy and hold, doing nothing else, not trading, just buy and hold. All right, Lulu 76K. All right, buy and hold 9 years. You would have had to wait 9 years for that money. I mean, you didn't have to show up. You didn't have to deal with traffic. You didn't have to, oh my gosh, I used to hate this. Defrost in the winter to get it ready to go to work. I used to hate that, scraping the ice off your car. I can't stand the cold. I don't know how you people do cold. I can't stand the cold. I'm a summer guy, right? Spring, summer guy. I'm rambling on. Our winner here, $12,000 invested in Domino's Pizza back in March 2010 when we found it at $14 is now worth $219,000. And I was telling Peter, it pained me to Domino's go from $14 to $200. The only reason I did not trade it is because back then when it was $14, it was on our call list. Oops, I was sharing the formula that out. It was $14 and it had like zero open interest for us, right? Nobody was, and back then I really wasn't a stock guy. I was kind of poo-pooing on buy and hold and all that, which was a bad, short-sighted goal of mine. Now I wish I was more of a buy and hold guy back then. But anyway, if we had just bought and held that stock, we would have had $219,000 profit right now. So that is just to lead into the beauty and the power of the hot stock formula. This list probably won't be as successful as this list because that was a cover call. Low price stocks usually have a hard time taking off. This is a list where if you highlight these names and you look at the dates, I found them, and you look at the prices now, this is the bigger list. This will be the more successful stocks. I think you will find that large majority of them will have made money or be higher. You'll find a few losers. Some may lose 80% of their value, but overall, you should see the majority of those stocks go up in price. So when Peter offers that list, I highly suggest you all get it and just watch those stocks over time. If you doubt the power of the list, just watch the stocks over time. And that positive reinforcement will do like it did me. It caused me to fall in love with the hot stock formula. So with that, let me go ahead and turn the floor over to you, Peter.
Okay, thanks, Travis. So hopefully you guys, I'm hoping everything's working out here because everything on my end is kind of just glitching. So like everything's taking a long time. I don't know. I think because I needed to do a Java update and I didn't do a Java update. It's just my GoToMeeting might be screwing up. So mine will be quick though anyway, because as I stated in my our last recap, I'm pretty much done for the year. I do a few things here and there just that are very simple. I'll bring my spreadsheet over. Like I think I covered this last week. I had my for November. I just have 5 covered calls on Amex or on AT&T right now. And this is this is the beauty of when you get into a stock, and for me, I get into dividend stocks. So getting into the dividend stocks, I'm not really waiting for the stock to take off in price because that's not my focus on getting into the stock. The focus is to invest in the stock at the price point I want to generate a quarterly income, because that's what a dividend stock does. But this is kind of the beauty of it. When it does take off, you can do covered calls like this one, because my price point is $6 below that. So if I get called away, I'm making even more money, and whatever dividend I'll lose by getting called away will be made up between this covered call, and 6 times 500 is another $1,100. So you can do the math on that on your own to see that works out just fine. So, but if you look at my spreadsheet up above, you can see we're at a $1,700 loss for October, which was very painful for me because I was well over a $2,000 gain. I can't remember the exact gain. It was almost at a $3,000 gain for the month. And due to carelessness, idiotic moves, and being a moron, I ended up losing all of it and then some. So in that, I've just pretty much said, okay, so I'm frustrated. Let's not do any stupid trades over the last course of the year. And just focus on 2020. So that's what I've done. So now what you're seeing here, these are paper, a lot of these paper trades are based on, I'm doing something with my daughter. So like the Home Depot, the Nike, the Walmart, Costco, those are all with my daughter's trades, but the Costco and the Walmart are actually two trades I'm in for 2020. They expire in January 2020. Those are my two income trades so far. And I'm doing more research for more trades, because one of the mistakes I did make a lot last year was I would place two trades, and I can really place 5 trades, right, based on our 2-10 formula. And I would just kind of wait for these two to play out. And that was so silly, because your 5 trades are never always going to come on the same day or the same week. You know, you may get into 2 this week and 3 next week, or 1 next week, and then 2 more the week following. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. And that's what brought up my hot stock formula, because that's what I'm using. I'm using the hot stock formula. I used to do this way back when I first joined the academy, and then I kind of fell away from it. And I started using it for my daughter's things she's doing in school, which is a competition. And I brought up now this was a covered call list, Travis. So when you say the stocks do better than the covered call list, you can see if you had, this was his August 2015 list, and you can see it has a 771% return with an 85% loss on one of the stocks. But you can see they all pretty much made out. So, and this is just one of many that I back tested from what Travis had put out when I was in the Success Academy way back then. I used to download all this material. So any Success Academy members that never downloaded their material are probably kicking themselves right now and wish they could get their hands on that information. And maybe for the right price, I'll give it to you, but no. But that is, so in the future, you're going to see, I'll have a link, because it's going to go through my JP Cashflow, our website, JP Cashflow, but there will be a link to our videos here as well. And I haven't figured out the pricing schedule or anything, but it's just basically to cover my costs, because I have to pay for certain things to be able to get those lists and run the formula. So, you know, and as me and Travis were just saying, you know, there's nothing in life is free. So if you think someone's giving you free hot stock formulas or free stock tips that are going to make you millions, it's not. I used to get all those things, and I've never made millions from it. So if you want something to pan out, you kind of have to either put in the hard work, which is what I'm doing with the hot stock formula, or you've got to pay someone that's done the work for you, which isn't, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as it's a good formula. So just look for that in the coming weeks, because I'm working on it now, and my goal is to have it done in the next 2 weeks. But anyway, so that's pretty much it. And if Brian, you watch this, I talked to him about SPY, and I'm not, I put this in the comment section, but pay attention to that 302 level. We talked about it, but and pay attention to that volume. If we see volume pick up and the stock market head higher, that's fantastic, and I hope that happens, because I know he's got a bullish spread out there. But just manage that thing every day. So that's it.
All right. Well, you know what? I don't have anything else to say. I guess we will see you next week, and hopefully the market does something exciting to give us something more to talk about. Until then, just take the lesson that sometimes, you know, relaxing and doing nothing is part of the trade plan. You don't always have to be super engaged and super active in the market. Sometimes the market gives you a little mini vacation. Take advantage of it. All right. You all take care. See you next week. All
See
right.
ya.
Bye-bye.